Well, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you guys here. I honestly never thought that I'd be making YouTube videos like this. You know, 10, 15 years ago, I thought I was going to just use YouTube for my singing. Back in the day, I made a few singing videos and uploaded them on YouTube, and I thought that I was going to continue doing that. Obviously, I didn't. Well, I don't know if it's that obvious, but I didn't continue doing it. And part of me wishes I did continue doing it, but here we are. And this is what I'm doing now. And I'm absolutely so excited. I'm so excited to be making videos in this style and posting it for you guys to see. I watch a lot of YouTube videos like this, homemaking videos and cooking videos, and I love it. I think it's a really cool way to see how others create and live their lives. And, you can learn so much from other people just by watching YouTube videos. So it's really, really cool. And I'm so excited again, just to be sharing this with you guys and to have you guys along for the ride. So, what you're going to be seeing from my channel, Chasing Babies and Raising Dreams, is exactly that. I love, love, love homemaking. I would say that I'm definitely a homebody for sure. And I love serving my family and all of the motherhood, homemaking things. So you're just going to be following along with me, doing some cooking, cleaning the house, caring after my family, and it's going to be a lot of fun. One exciting thing about our family is that my husband is a fighter. So he fights. He was originally a boxer and then kind of evolved into MMA, mixed martial arts. So he just started fighting again, and it's been really, really exciting. We've been working together on this fighting journey and turning pro for 8 years. And now it's finally starting to come to fruition. And it's so exciting. And it's so exciting to have you guys join along with us. And I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun watching us as we do this thing. So, yeah, right here, you can see that I'm putting eggs on to boil. And what I'm making on this day is chocolate pudding. And yes, it's going to be made with hard boiled eggs. And I know that sounds so gross. But trust me, you cannot even tell that there's eggs in it. My husband jokes with me all the time. He makes fun of me all the time and says that's absolutely so disgusting. I try to get him to try it, and he absolutely will not because there's eggs in it. And I get it. It sounds really, really gross, like egg paste, eggs and pudding. But trust me, if you know, you know. If you've made it following the recipe, I just followed the recipe and it was so good, so rich in chocolate flavor and just the right amount of sugar. And it's perfect. And a child wouldn't even know that there's eggs in it. And that's exactly why I make it, because I try to give my daughter the most nutrient dense foods. And lately, she's been having trouble eating eggs, so this is what I do to help her get more eggs into her diet. Now, that being said, here and there, maybe every couple of days, she will eat a little bit of eggs, which is awesome. And she loves the yolk. She'll just, if I make hard boiled eggs, she'll just pick out the yolk, which is fine by me. The yolk is the best part, right? So at least if she's getting a little bit, that's all that matters to me. Oh, yeah. She used to be really good at eating. Like the first year of her life, she ate a lot of meat, a lot of, I would say, just maybe like more carnivore style diet. Obviously with bread, a little bit of bread in there too, but I try to minimize as much as that as possible and just give her the most nutrient dense foods that I possibly could that would just set her gut up for her life. And I still do try to maintain that as best as I can, but it's exciting as your children grow up. You just want to share with them all of the good foods and all of the good treats. So, yeah, she's been really loving the treats lately. We're in the stage of trying to teach her a good balance with food. Oh, yeah. Guess I should speed this part up just so I don't bore you guys to death. All right, so now we can get into mixing this pudding up. So the recipe called for about a teaspoon of vanilla, so that's what I'm putting in here. This is for 6 hard-boiled eggs. Then I'm putting in 3/4 cup of sugar. In this case, I used brown sugar, but I'm sure you could use whatever type of sweetener you'd like and just adjust depending on what you use. Now, I have made this recipe before, but I never used my stand mixer to make it. I used my food processor when I did make it, and I've only made it maybe 2 times. So I thought that using my stand mixer would blend it up more because the food processor, it worked really good, but there was still like I couldn't get it as smooth as I wanted it to be. There was still like little tiny chunks of the egg white. So I thought that whisking it would make it more smooth and kind of like like a pudding consistency, that velvety consistency. And so that's just what I'm trying here, seeing how it goes. And it didn't turn out like I'd hoped. At this point, I'm mixing in, 3/4 of a cup of milk and another 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. And at this point, I switched over to my blender to create more of a smooth consistency. And I had to add in a little bit of milk because the thickness of it at this point was just too much for my little blender to handle. And because my blender is only like an individual serving size, I had to move it around. But yeah, that was the end result that I got with using the blender. And I was really happy I switched over. The food processor just hasn't got that smooth of a consistency for me yet. Maybe I'll try it next time and again see how that goes. But I really liked the consistency that the blender did. Yeah, that was a win. I will be making more of this. I absolutely love it, not just for my kids, but for myself too. It's a really high protein snack and it's really easy and quick to make. Okay, so now I am making lunch for this day. I decided to make mac and cheese because it's really quick and easy to do. Not necessarily the healthiest, but there are ways that I make this that will enhance the nutritional properties of it. One being bone broth, as you can see me mixing in here. So I use chicken broth as part of the base for this sauce, along with my milk. So I make a roux first of butter and flour, then I mix in the liquid. You can either use milk or cream. Like I said, to increase the nutritional benefits of the meal, I added in a little bit of bone broth and then continued to add in my milk. I don't measure these kinds of things. If I'm new to a recipe, then I'll measure and follow the recipe. But once I get familiar with a recipe, I won't. I'll just eyeball it. I don't need to measure it out. If you guys, however, are interested in a specific recipe or specific measurements, comment below. And if there's enough inquiries about it, I'll include it in the description box, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'll post it somewhere. So at this point, I'm adding the rest of my ingredients to my sauce. This is onion powder that I'm adding. And then I add some cheese. And I also add a little bit of Dijon in there too, Dijon mustard. There we go. There's the Dijon. Oh yeah, I added in some salt. Gotta season it. So this is my very overgrown squash garden. It's mainly squash, but we also got some carrot and green onion out of this garden. But this was only supposed to be an experiment to see what could grow and what couldn't. We've only been at this house for a year, so we just wanted to do a little experiment and see what we could get. I've got a good amount of squash from it. Like I said, we got carrot and green onion, so it's been a success so far, I'd say. It's kind of hard to tell here what the garden looks like, so I'll have to get a better shot of that for you guys next time. So in my videos, you're going to see a lot of training like this. My husband just started fighting again after taking a break for 5 years. His last fight was in December 2019, so just before COVID, and he won that fight. It was his first MMA fight, and he won it, and it was so exciting. We had trained and prepared for that for a while. Of course, leading up to the fight, once you know you have a fight set, you are training and preparing for that exact fight. But we had been together and training together for 3 years. So winning that fight was like both of us won that fight in a sense because we had been together, training together for 3 years up until that point. So that felt like a win on both our parts. So yeah, me, unlike my husband, I haven't been training martial arts my whole life. I started when I met my husband and had no prior experience at all in this sport or training style. My husband has been doing it since he was born, basically. Well, since he could walk, he was born into it. His father was a boxer. So for him, this has been an evolving thing. I've only been evolving for 8 years now, and I still feel like a beginner. I still look like a beginner, in my opinion. In Josh's opinion, I'm like pro level. Definitely not in my opinion. I have a long way to go in looking like I'm anything close to professional. But, anyways, that's just my opinion. Other people have said that I look like a natural doing this, but I also have danced in my younger years. I did cheerleading. So it was easier for me to pick up mixed martial arts because mixed martial arts is a form of dance, you could say. So people who dance and do that type of movement pick up fighting a lot easier. I think people who are in like football, do football or basketball, things like that, pick it up a lot easier because they're already athletes. They already move. So they're used to being agile and quick on their feet. So, yeah, I've been doing this for 8 years along with my husband. And so when we first started dating, that was the number one condition was he was going to be a fighter and he was committed that this was going to be the path that he was taking. So it was like a take it or leave it situation. And I decided to take it and join him on this path. And it's been a really encouraging path to take, up until I met my husband. I hadn't met anybody that was, I don't even know how to explain it, but I guess so not it's not being committed to their goal or achieving some sort of success. It was the commitment to greatness, to achieving greatness, and just being the absolute best you can be and being the best you can be at what you do. And I had no one in my life at that point that was so encouraging like that. Just being around him was encouraging and inspiring. So I was inspired to join him and help him in any way I could with achieving his goal because it was so amazing just to be around someone who wanted to do something with their life and do something great with their life. And so, I mean, joining someone on a path like that does it's not to take lightheartedly. It's very serious. It was a very serious commitment for me to take. And I think that bonded us like super deeply right from the start because it wasn't just his dream anymore. It became a mutual dream. And that doesn't mean that I gave up my life for him. It means that I believed in doing something greater than just my life or just for myself. Like doing something just for myself or just for my life suddenly became very minuscule. And it was like I was doing something for the greater good now, undertaking this dream with him and helping him with it. So, yeah, it wasn't a lighthearted decision to make, but it was an inspirational moment for me and like a turning point in my life because it meant that I wasn't just living for myself anymore. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my first video. There is lots more to come, so stay tuned and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.